In combat, time does not behave like it does in civilian life. It does not flow evenly. It fractures. It stretches under pressure, then collapses into moments that feel impossibly short. At 3:42 hours, under a moonless sky in the Middle East, Staff Sergeant Michael Carter felt time slow to a crawl as he pressed his back against a shattered concrete wall, weapon raised, mind fully alert. 7 men were positioned around him, each waiting, not for orders, but for certainty. The desert air was hot, dry, and heavy with dust. Carter checked his watch once. He would not check it again. The mission briefing had been clear and direct. Conduct a night clearance patrol in a high-risk sector. Confirm hostile movement reported by aerial surveillance. Maintain stealth, avoid prolonged engagement, and extract before first light. Carter had led enough operations to know that missions rarely unfolded according to briefing slides. Intelligence could be outdated. Enemy movement could shift. What remained constant was responsibility. Carter was the squad leader. Every decision, every correction, every order would ultimately rest on him. Initial movement had been clean. The squad advanced in disciplined formation, spacing tight, sectors covered. Then the first shot broke the silence. It was followed immediately by automatic fire from the left flank. Contact left, came the call. Carter dropped into cover, returning controlled bursts while issuing commands. For several seconds, the engagement remained manageable. Then the radio crackled with urgency. Possible IED, pressure. The transmission ended abruptly. Carter's attention snapped forward. Something had changed. Partially concealed beneath debris in the narrow alley ahead was a wire. Thin, deliberate, unmistakable. It led into the rubble where an improvised explosive device had been placed with precision. Carter assessed the situation instantly. Advancing forward risked detonation. Remaining in position would allow the enemy to maneuver and flank. Retreat would expose the wounded. Sergeant Blake was downrange, injured and unable to move quickly, trapped between the squad and the device. Carter checked his watch again. 10 seconds had been given by command to make a decision. 10 seconds is not enough time to run simulations or weigh options carefully. It is enough time to recognize the truth. Carter understood that no option guaranteed safety. Every possible action carried risk. Command reiterated the urgency. Air cover was being redirected. The window was closing. Blake's voice came through the gunfire, clear and firm. Do not come forward. Carter felt the weight of leadership settle fully onto his shoulders. This was no longer a tactical problem. This was a moral one. Carter did not see diagrams or casualty estimates. He saw his men. He saw Nguyen, steady under fire, covering his sector. He saw Ellis, young and focused, following every command without hesitation. He saw Blake, wounded but composed, trying to remove himself from the equation. Training taught leaders to compartmentalize. But leadership, Carter knew, was about people before procedures. 5 seconds remained. Kill the lights, Carter ordered. Confusion lasted less than a second before discipline took over. The alley dropped into darkness, disrupting enemy fire. Carter issued rapid instructions: smoke deployment, suppression angles, hold positions. Then he moved forward alone. He reached Blake and gave a single instruction: move when pulled, no hesitation. Carter counted down under his breath. At the final second, he pulled Blake backward as the wire snapped beneath his boot. The explosion was immediate and violent. The blast wave slammed into the alley, throwing debris and dust through the air. Carter felt the impact ripple through his body, knocking the breath from his lungs. For a brief moment, sound disappeared entirely. Then it returned. Shouts, pain, urgency. Carter forced himself upright, ignoring the pain, and began counting. One by one, voices answered. All 7 were alive. Medical aid was applied quickly. Smoke still hung in the air as extraction finally arrived. The mission report would later describe the operation as partially successful. Command would cite Carter's decisiveness under pressure. But Carter did not feel victorious. He understood how close the margin had been. 10 seconds had separated survival from disaster. There was no room for pride, only relief. Long after the mission ended, Carter replayed those 10 seconds in his mind. Not the explosion, not the gunfire, just the silence inside his own head as the decision formed. He knew that in another version of that night, the outcome could have been different. War, he realized, was not defined by campaigns or victories, but by moments where responsibility, fear, and choice collided. Sometimes, everything a soldier carries forward comes from 10 seconds that never truly end.